Ulysses dies at dawn. At least, that's the word on the street from those that saw what went down at Calypso's. Now, listen up, 'cause we've got a labyrinthine twisted task of a tale to tell, and if you don't keep up, you might get lost. First, to understand how this all goes down, you gotta know a little bit about the planet we're talking of. See, on this planet there was a city, grim old city, sort of place the rain beats down like coffin nails and the air wafts with the cigarette stench of betrayal. My kind of town. Now this city, grim old city, it starts to grow, and when it meets with other towns, other cities, it takes them into itself, absorbs them, until soon enough there's no land left, so the city spreads outwards into the sea, and when there's no sea left, the city spreads upwards into the sky, and when there is no sky left, it burrows inwards, like a cancer into the bowels of the planet. And eventually, there is nothing but the city. And so generations live and generations die in the warrens and the tunnels and even the lower levels of the surface. And they never see the sun. And it's in one of the deepest, most secret of these tunnels we meet our hero, goes by the name of Ulysses, currently beaten, battered, bloody, unbowed, spits out a mouthful of teeth and disdain and looks up to see four of the meanest bastards in the meanest streets of the meanest parts of the city, all immaculately turned out in pinstripes. We'll call them the Suits. You might ask how things came to such a pass. I know Ulysses is. Well, it started in a bar, as these things so often do. Calypso's, a run-down old gin joint, pays its money to Dionysus. Our hero slumped over a bottle of whiskey, trying to drown enough sorrows to choke a horse. And one horse in particular. Deep in my cups and my whiskey, sometimes the screaming will cease. Free-flowing tears fall unnoticed. Numbness my only release. Some soldiers will tell you that warfare is just one more title for hell. I wonder if devils get nightmares of all of their victims as well. Broken horses, staring and still broken horses, like all those I killed. Broken horses, riding me down. Broken horses, broken horses. See, Ulysses the drunk was once Ulysses the soldier, and a high-ranking one too. So it was they found themselves fighting at the siege of Ilium some 20 years ago. It was a brutal war of attrition against one of the best defended districts of the city. A war that Ulysses the soldier was determined to win. After a decade of fighting, still their defenses stood firm. Heartless and cunning and scheming, victory I would confirm. Offering peace and departing, we honored our valiant foes. A statue that I had designed them, sending a message of hope and broken horses. All that I built were broken horses, shattered by guilt. Broken horses, I can't outrun these broken horses. Broken horses. Ulysses proposed a solution: peace and independence for Ilium, free from the city's clutches. Accords were drawn up, treaties were signed, and to commemorate symbolic occasion, a vast statue was commissioned, honouring the district's history as famed breeders of horses, back when such beasts still existed. It was scanned for bioweapons, it was scanned for explosives, it was scanned for hidden soldiers. None were found, and the gift was accepted, and joy was unconfined. It was not, however, scanned for a faint, almost inaudible signal being broadcast of Ulysses' own design, intended to gradually drive the listener to madness. Within a week, all in Ilium was ripping and rending and tearing and blood. When they finally opened the gates, there were none left alive. The war was over. Sometimes it's hard to remember. The city was not always here. Animals long since extinguished, roaming with nothing to fear. Once they were known as equestrians, and Ilium honored its past. Statues are all that remain now. Their riders have fallen at last from broken horses. Silent and stone, broken horses. Like cracked and fractured bone, broken horses. Because of me, broken horses, broken horses, broken. And so, drunk on a cocktail of whiskey and regret, it wasn't difficult for our erstwhile quartet of psychos to snatch a cracked and sagging Ulysses to be dragged down here. Lightless depths of the city, some rusted out underpassaged only by a neon sign glowing over the door to a long-forgotten vault. A sign that reads, Penelope. Bam! The biggest of the suits slams his fist into Ulysses' face again and repeats the question. Ulysses just bleeds at the fucker, so the big guy's fist comes down again. This continues for some time. This question from a pale, thin young man at the back, altogether unsuited to the rough company he's running with. He's answered by an old motherfucker off to the corner, dark glasses hiding blind eyes. And everybody knows if you're not alive and you're not in the Acheron, you don't exist. A stern-faced woman at the side cuts in, ending the discussion. At this point, some words of explanation are needed. Understand, a whole planet covered with steel and wire needs a lot of computing power to run, and there's no processor more powerful or abundant than the brain. So you have the Acheron, a vast network of dead minds, however badly damaged, plugged in and kicked back into a half-conscious hell to run the city. All ruled over by a mad bastard by the name of Hades. Now, when the inevitable reality of death is so unpleasant, you better believe people will do anything to avoid it. And in the city, you can buy anything, if you have a wallet thick enough for what it costs and a stomach strong enough for what it takes. So you have the Olympians, the oldest, richest, meanest families who can afford to live forever. And Ulysses managed to piss one of them off. Shortly after the war, our hero conceived some ill-thought-out revenge on Poseidon Industries, one of the architects of the conflict. Decided to steal something from them. The perfect diamond at the heart of the Cyclops, the industrial laser in Poseidon's flagship workshop. Wasn't a great plan. Just got drunk and walked in.
I got a false ID for a fortune drunk. Spent 120 credits on a uniform. Security got better things to do with their time. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. My name is no one. My name is no one. My name is no one. And I ain't got nothing to lose. Corridor still as a dead man's tongue. Doors open with a whimper, not a bang. Rim pulled low against the camera's steel gaze. A head full of bourbon, but it's easy. My name is no one. My name is no one. My name is no one. And I ain't got nothing to lose. Workshop air got an acrid burn. The core lies gleaming in its place. One good throw and I couldn't be out the door. Drunken buzz kills the fear. My name is no one. My name is no one. My name is no one. And I ain't got nothing to lose. The eye is inside. Grapples of steel. Heat scorches my skin. But I choke down the pain, 'cause one good throw and the eye of the Cyclops is mine. My name is no one. My name is no one. My name is no one. And I ain't got nothing to lose. My name is no one. My name is no one. My name is no one. My name is Ulysses!
Of course, drunkenly yelling out your own name in triumph when still in range of the cameras was not the best plan Ulysses ever concocted. Soon word was out, and the eye of the Cyclops became the most worthless perfect diamond in existence, as no fence was fool enough to touch it. Ulysses has been carrying that rock around for 2 decades now. Still has it, much to the suit's amusement. In fact, the only other thing our hero has with them is a snub-nosed laser hidden in a boot, with a single shot left in it. But it isn't Poseidon that hired the suits. You're probably hungry for a bit more description of Ulysses around now, and I'm afraid you'll have to remain so, as we know little more about them. Man, woman, both or neither, the records are long since lost, and the only one of the crew ever to meet them in person will say nothing, save that they were black, beautiful, and had a pair of cold blue eyes that couldn't hide the things they'd seen. eyes that are rapidly swelling shut as the big guy lets loose another punch. You probably know him better as Heracles. Ariadne, the woman lurking off to the side, shakes her head. The delicate young man at the back asks, Orpheus. The blind old motherfucker says with a shrug. He walks up to the vault door and removes his glasses to reveal a pair of data sockets where eyes once sat. Taking out 2 cables, he links them to the door and, 40 seconds later, the first of 4 locks hisses open. Oedipus is not a bad person. As a doctor, he did much good work, even developed a cure for the Sphinx, a disease that accelerated the aging process to such a degree that weak old infants would die, elderly and infirm, never learning the words to ask why. Of course, those affected were generally too poor to afford the cure, but that was hardly his fault. Of course, when the identity was revealed of the man Oedipus killed defending his lab, not to mention his beautiful wife's provenance, well, ignorant or not, there's only so much scandal a public can take. Oedipus says nothing, but strengthens his resolve to get out. Doesn't matter, there's nothing beyond the city save the automated colonies that feed it and the empty black. Doesn't matter, he has to work with scum like this to afford it. He needs to escape. Ariadne's voice cuts through the air. See, there are two ways to get into Penelope's vault. The first is with Ulysses' passcode. No luck there, but Ulysses did leave instructions for another way to get it open after they were gone. Four trials. A trial of wits, a trial of strength, a trial of song, and a trial of love. The suits picked to tackle each one. As for why Ulysses had designed such a high-minded security system, well, that was a long time ago. A young, idealistic Ulysses, before 10 years of war and 20 years of dulling the pain. 20 years of sirens. If you asked the Ulysses currently kneeling in front of the suits why they'd created the trials, I doubt they could tell you. Still, the coding problems and logic puzzles that formed the trial of wits have been silently solved by Oedipus, so next up is the trial of strength, which is a rather romantic way of describing the act of turning a big iron wheel. Now, Heracles is an interesting case. Bastard son of the scion of one of the most powerful Olympian families, Zeus. See, Don Zeus has something of a taste for women from the lower levels and enjoys toying with the offspring that result. His favorite trick is to offer them a place in the family, contingent on the completion of a suicide mission or two. Most barely last a week, but Heracles is too mean, too tough, and too stupid to stop. So he just keeps going.
Come on in, boy. I hear you've a right to call me father. Oh, come on, don't be like that. I always like to keep an eye on all of my... Oh, now that's unfair. See, I'm not making you an offer here and now. Join your real family. No, I'm serious, of course. There are a couple of jobs you gotta do first. Prove your loyalty. Welcome to the family. Eternal with your bloody hands in service to the family as the favored son. Well done. I hear you're making quite a name for yourself. Oh, and congratulations on making me a grandfather. I know what you're gonna say, but I'm afraid the offer only extends one generation. Immortality's expensive. Going freelance. Sorry to hear that. Let me know if you ever change your mind. Yourself your freedom with these bloody hands in service to the family as the favored son. Me, way I hear it, you're the one went crazy, killed his whole family. Let's not quibble about who killed who. Fact is, I got you acquitted, and that costs. Oh, don't worry, we got a few things lined up. Welcome home, son. Self-redemption with your bloodied hands in service to the family as the favored son.
Don't feel too bad for Heracles, though. He always was a nasty piece of work. but the wheel is turned and the second of the 4 locks slides open with a click. Orpheus asks, staring at the small microphone in the center of the door. See, Heracles and Orpheus have worked together before, backing up Jason on the fleece job, but things had gone south. Badly. Heracles is crimson with rage. He had been very fond of Hylas. Ariadne stops him before things escalate. Heracles takes a breath. Orpheus takes out his lyre and does exactly that. And then, as if answering a call, the vault is filled with music. And so the 3rd lock opens, silently this time, leaving only one more to be dealt with. Orpheus barely whispers it, but it's enough to prick the ears of both Heracles and Ulysses. Neither says a word, but the pieces are falling into place. Orpheus' story isn't unusual. A broke young musician with a dead fiancée, just another life chewed up by the city. This broke young musician didn't accept that, though. Didn't care he didn't have the money to have a mind from the Acheron rebodied, or that those as were came back wrong. He needed his true love. So he went to Hades. Here I should mention that Hades was no stranger. After all, the mechanisms had been in the city a long time, having our own brand of fun. I, your humble narrator Jonny DeVille, was in one of the lower levels, depopulating it. Marius claims he was psychoanalyzing the Olympians, and the toy soldier says it was busy being a nymph, whatever that means. But our quartermaster, Ashes O'Reilly, felt right at home, decided to seize control of the Acheron and make the ferryman dance to a different tune. Took on the name of Hades. And so Hades took those foolish enough to venture to the Acheron, Ulysses, Heracles, Orpheus, and decided to have a little fun.
Hades, Hades, hear my petition, please. My name is Ulysses. I seek to bury my fractured memories. In the war, the horrors that I saw settled grief to my core. I can't take it anymore.
And so Hades helped engineer the situation we now see, both for personal amusement and as a favour to, well, we'll get to that. Right now, it's time for the last look, the trial of love, and who better for it than Ariadne, famed for her love of Theseus? As it turns out, almost anyone. A small chamber beside the vault slides open. Her contempt is thick as Oedipus plugs in to analyze it. He lets out a short laugh. There is silence. No one notices Ulysses' smile. Of course, Ariadne has no intention of dying nor any feeling for Theseus save hate. Alas, no one had known what the trial of love entailed, and she'd been playing the spurned lover so long she had believed herself up to whatever it might have been. But this?
No.
Theseus, as it turns out, was just a sap Ariadne had been using to try and regain the societal standing her family had quickly lost when it was revealed her parents had created the Minotaur, a beast that had stalked the city since its founding, plucking the still-living brains from its victims for the Acheron. Ariadne had given Theseus the deactivation codes in the hope that openly righting her parents' wrong and marrying a hero of the people would make for some damn good PR. But Theseus had taken the credit and very publicly jilted her. No, she couldn't die yet. Not when the Ulysses job paid so well. She had a dynasty to rebuild. So it doesn't look like the last lock's being opened anytime soon. And the fifth suit emerges from the shadows. The one who gathered our motley band together, played Zeus and Poseidon off against each other, and even managed to talk Hades into helping him assemble them. Daedalus. Lot of tales about Daedalus, that he trades as an Olympian under the name Hephaestus, that he had his own son killed for getting too ambitious, that he designed the Acheron as the original architect of the city back when it was still known by its true name, Labyrinth. And he wants whatever is in this vault. If it can break the Acheron and challenge the Olympians, it belongs with Daedalus. He gives no options. There is silence, finally broken by Orpheus. So Orpheus steps into the chamber, and a dull whirring begins inside of it, getting louder, getting closer, getting more vicious. But he can't see it through, though, can he? Flinches, looks back, and it doesn't work. Orpheus steps out, still alive, and the door's still closed, but it does give Daedalus an idea, as rhetoric about sacrifice and resolve actually operates on quite a simple motion sensor. Can't tell the difference between the brave and the tied up. Can't use Ulysses, or the retinal scanner would know. But anyone else is fair game. Daedalus makes an announcement. All at once, everything is guns and recrimination. Alright, Daedalus. You wanna know what's in the vault? I'll show you. And like that, Ulysses casts the eye of the Cyclops high into the air, pulls out their snub-nosed laser and fires the last shot, splitting the beam along 12 axes. Daedalus gets one in the shoulder, one in the leg. Oedipus has two, one in each eye. Never saw it coming. Heracles gets the lion's share. 1, 2, 3! Orpheus has one too, slitting his pretty little throat. Even Ariadne gets one, right through the heart. Which leaves 3 for Ulysses. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, it's over. The suits lie dead or dying. Daedalus is alive, but in no state to move. And it won't be long before Ulysses joins the rest of them. Limping over to the door, our hero types in 7 letters. Elysium. The door slides open and reveals the rich green leaves of a tree, standing sunlit in a golden field. Daedalus doesn't understand, can't understand, how a young Ulysses found the last relic of the natural world and hid it, leaving only a thin passage up to the surface to let in the dawn's light. The naive hope that it might become a symbol of finality and freedom from the Acheron's grasp. The loss of Penelope, buried here as the first to once again die a true death. Hades could have told Daedalus if he'd thought to ask. But it's too late now. Thoughts of revolution are long gone, and Ulysses now simply seeks to rest. The vault door closes, never to reopen. And as the weary hound, once more at its master's feet after so long, lays down with the sunlight warming its fur, breathing its last, even so did the eyes of Ulysses close forever.
Elysian fields stretch out before me. Sunlight dapples through the leaves of the soul, surviving oak tree as I